Hello and welcome to Mangatory 96, and today we're going to talk about Classroom of the Elite. With the anime's second season being around the corner, it's the perfect time to talk about this series. Well, I'm not too sure that the anime coming back is a good or bad thing, considering on how the first season went. Only time will tell if it was a good decision to resurrect the anime or it should have stayed dead for good after the first season. But regardlessly, if the second season is a success or fails miserably, it doesn't matter, as the source material is just fantastic, which you should definitely read. With the main character being one of the many reasons as to why Classroom of the Elite is just that good, and for that reason, let's take a closer look on the character that is Kiyotaka Ayanokōji. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as I'll be spoiling a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend that you're going to read the light novel, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with who Kiyotaka is. Kiyotaka Ayanokōji is currently a second year student at Advanced Nurturing High School, following the entrance exam in which he scored precisely 50 points in every subject. He was placed in D class. He is also currently the boyfriend of Kei Karuizawa. Kiyotaka is an inconspicuous student, and while his grades are average on purpose, he possesses an ability to read the emotions of people around him with pinpoint accuracy and either helps or destroys them. He tends to come up with ingenious and imaginative plans, such as using the school rules so that he could obtain all test questions from an older D-class student by paying him 15,000 points. He also used the rules and the purpose of points to bribe his teacher into stopping the explosion of Ken Sudo. In fact, it is hinted by a select few that he could have easily placed in a higher class like A class if he actually applied himself. He is somewhat socially awkward, as he is terrible at communicating with people and fails at correctly associating with them. As a result, he speaks in a very monotonous way in the anime and tends to isolate himself from his peers and not getting involved with social activities. Those traits tend to leave an impression on others that he is cunning, uncaring, breezy and carefree, while also hinting at an aloofness, latency, or generally a sense of apathy towards anything besides issues that specifically concern him. That is why some people in his class still find him to be an enigmatic presence despite having been with him for over a year. However, he is shown to be capable of sustaining some conversations, though in a somewhat dull and monotonous fashion, as shown in his interaction with Kyoko and his other classmates. Though he does put more effort in conversing with those he truly is close with and deep down cares about them. He appears to keep his word, as he promised Ari that he will come to her aid when she needed it, a promise well kept, as he rescued her from a pedophile stalker. He also promised Suzune that he would get her to get to A class, even though it was forced. Kiyotaka put his plans into action by assisting Suzune, which in turn sheds some of her cold nature and allows her to open up to others, which had particularly worked as he helped her get mass popularity after the alien survival test. He has voiced intentions of making friends, but his emotionless attitude tends to leave him exempted from such matters. However, he has formed associations with others and seems to leave an impact on them. This was when he stopped Suzune from being assaulted by her brother, though he had no reason for getting involved. Whether he is simply going with the flow or genuinely looking out for Suzune is unknown, as both patterns are plausible. He appeared to show this caring side again after sacrificing 50,000 points so Ken Sudo wouldn't be expelled after the latter failed the recent exam, though he only did so there might be a repercussion to losing a classmate, affecting his chances of getting to Class A. He has also had no problem referring to himself as a friend to Honami of B class, even though they had just met, when she reached out for him for help. Though whether this was a ploy on his part to ease her for a genuine display of consideration for her is unknown. It seems in their later interaction suggests a deeper kind of friendship. When Ari contacted him for aid as a crazed stalker nearly assaulted her, he quickly came to save her and comforted her after the attack. He does not like drawing attention to himself, as after purchasing answers from all tests he had Kyo take full credit even though he invested a lot of money to get them. This was seen again when he gave full credit to Suzune for stopping Ken's explosion after failing a test despite it being his plan and Kyo hinting it was him. He also allowed Ken to believe Suzune planned the events that stopped his case after he was accused of hurting 3 students. In that time, he denied his involvement in stopping in several times the events of Ken's case, despite Honami, Manabe, and Seiya all hinting that he was the orchestrator for saving Ken. He appears not to enjoy showing off his talents, which was the main reason for concealing himself for unwarranted attention. It is unknown why he hides his intellect, but is shown in a flashback that a mysterious man, later revealed to be his father, informed him that those who will hide their talents are fools. From this event, it could be that he does so to prove that he can do something without revealing what he is truly capable of. He does not seem to want to extend his energy unnecessarily in other matters. This was shown and he refused to become a secretary of the student council despite directly being offered the position by the student council president. It appears that part of his aloof and standoffish personality stems from his mysterious past that he doesn't speak to people about. He gives vague answers about the matter and shows a dislike for people who ask about it, seemingly getting angry after they ask. In his anger, he is more serious in his tone of speech, as shown when he sternly told Suzune not to pry into his personal history. In his anger, Kiyotaka is not about threatening people, as he refused to comply with Sai's order for him to aim for A class, after stating to have been asked to expel him at the request of an unknown person later revealed to be his father. During this moment, he said he dislikes of being manipulated, as he even resorted to threatening her and grabbing her by the collar, unafraid that she was a teacher who could have expelled him for assault. Due to the upbringing in the White Room, he has come to see everyone around him as tools, and he is only intent on winning above everything else. He does not mind manipulating others nor concerning himself with sacrificing a pawn as long as they help obtain his goal. Because of this mindset and his actions, it is unknown whether he really cares for those he has befriended or if he just gained their trust to use them. In the light novel, his personality is somewhat different, as he displays more emotions, even having comedic fashions, though he appears to still carry on a serious mindset. He has an extreme sense of unfallibility and is on a sunk throat during difficult times. He has never shown to be under any distress when faced with threats or danger, but once he was bluntly angry at Ryumen after his deplorable acts against Kei. He is the most astute student in his class, crafting plans even Horitake wouldn't be able to. Despite his abilities being leagues above others, he has no hubris, but is lax-slight about them. It is shown that Kiyotaka can be very cruel for his personal gains, like when he set up Kei in the basement of the cruise ship to be tormented by Manabe and her group, just so Kei would break down and become a pawn for him to use. Still, he is stalwart as he eventually did rescue her and made plans to comfort her after the ordeal as a learning point for her. He is shown to be cautious of others as he doesn't fully trust Suzune, even making plans for her possible betrayal. Despite that, he is still associated with her. Also, he decided to challenge Manabu to a race where he chooses to reveal some of his talents which were in contrast to his concealment in the anime. After the race, he is surprised to see he has gained new popularity and depicted as later more social as he made more acquaintances and bonded with them to use their first names. However, he sees some of them as pawns, but he seems to genuinely care about a few of the people he has befriended, meaning he may not be too entirely jaded in his views. This appears as the case since there are some of his classmates he refuses to manipulate for his own purposes, showcasing his moral side. The most prominent display of his care for his friends was when he got angry and attacked Kakeru for bullying Kei. At this time, Kiyotaka was truly enraged, which is a contrast to his usual calm behavior, and his anger even scared the usual conceit Kakeru and his followers. He also showed care to Honami, comforting her by telling her that he was always on her side after her history was revealed, and to Arisu by catching her foul when Tsukihiro interrupted their secret meeting and kicked her cane in the special building. When he was blackmailed by his teacher with explosion, he actually tried to put in the effort to reach A class. However, when he discovered that neither his teacher nor the father had any leverage to use against him for the explosion, he gave up trying to advance to that class while ignoring the vehement protest of his teacher. As for his past, almost everything about Kiyotaka's life before the entrance exam is unknown. However, During a flashback, he was shown to be part of a group of kids involved in an unknown organization called the White Room, headed by his father. He appeared to have maintained his stoic expression even as a child, as he showed no emotion and looked on when another child situated at his left had difficulty breathing and probably fainted for reasons unknown. There is also a time when his father had approached and told him that those who don't reveal their talents are fools. From his time there, Kiyotaka underwent various training regimens, presumably including martial arts, while taking heavy and challenging writing examination, giving him both extreme physical abilities and mental prowess. As time went on, more children started suffering like the fainted child. Kiyotaka eventually became the lone survivor of the group. His training led him to believe that all humans are nothing but tools and that victory is all that matters in the world. With this point of view, he became determined to win no matter what and sacrifice anything or anyone to achieve his goals of obtaining victory. At some point, the White Room was temporarily shut down for 1 year that gave Kiyotaka a chance to escape with the help of Matsuda, Kiyotaka's butler, who told him to enroll at Advanced Nurturing High School where his father cannot reach, and he will be able to live a normal school life. He took the entrance exam to enter the Advanced Nurturing High School and scored exactly 50 out of 100 points on every subject. A few others heavily hinted that this act was done on purpose to avoid unwanted attention from the school, which he denied by claiming it is merely a coincidence. In the manga, he stated in his monologue that the biggest reason why he chose the Advanced Nurturing High School was that he wanted freedom. He also noted in his monologue that while in middle school he was forbidden to associate with friends or even relatives that were not approved for him. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on Kiyotaka. And that'll be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.